Hello, today I am going to be mounting my miniature painting here into my hot glue golden frame. I'm just going to be taking a thin line of that hot glue around the top of my painting and stick that frame right on the front. So the first thing I'm going to do, I've let my hot glue gun heat up a bit. Now my hot glue gun is pretty old. That gripping technology that sends the hot glue through the gun hasn't been working too well, so bear with me on this part. It went a bit slower than it normally does, so I think I'm going to need to get a new one of those. But like I said, I'm just applying a thin little layer of this hot glue around my edges. I am trying to work as fast as I can because I don't want where I started to begin to harden or cool off before I'm ready to stick this on. So once I get around to that corner, sometimes I add just a little bit more on that corner there. And now I am going to first flip this painting over and make sure it's nice and lined up on the back of my frame. Before I press it down too hard on the frame, I'm going to turn it over and just make sure that this painting is centered correctly. Then I'm going to use my fingers to kind of pinch along those edges, making sure that I don't have so much glue that it's kind of gushing into the front of the painting. I'm going to flip that over again, and then I'm going to kind of examine these edges here. Now the back of my frames aren't always the flattest surfaces, so sometimes I might have a few little gaps in there that might need some extra glue to fill in. Not always, but sometimes. So right now it looks like I could use just a little bit more glue on the back side of this painting. So I'm going to put a little bit more between there and use my nail to kind of swipe the excess off. Now, I will say that the heat from the hot glue gun will kind of tarnish that gold painting on the back here. So usually by the time that I'm done gluing my painting to my frame and everything is dry, I usually go back around with some of that gold paint to kind of touch up those little areas there. You can kind of see it in that top right corner as well as the middle of that side. But yep, I'm going to make sure that the rest of those edges are nice and sealed, and our next steps will be adding some magnets, so stay tuned.